This time I'll show you how to edit circle, arc and ellipse. So at present I'm in the draw mode. So my circle tool is activated in the info box. So would like to switch to edit mode by to select the targeted object. So I'll just hit W from keyboard. So my arrow tool will get automatically activated. Of course, you can select by picking on the tool also, but W, that hotkey is much easier and faster. Now, the first object which I am selecting is circle. So let me select this circle. When I zoom this area now, I'll just zoom it so that you can see how the circle is selected. You can see after selecting the circle, all the standard commands like copy, that is, or move, maybe the control D, drag. So my drag command I can use, I can just take it anywhere as per my choice. I can copy this, and all the basic commands I can definitely follow. Soon we will study rotate and mirror. So those topics maybe in the next lessons we will definitely explore them. So at present, what I'm interested to show you that how we can try to edit the circle. Okay, before that, I'm just going to turn off the line weight now. So on-screen view option. Remember, this on-screen view option is only to view on screen. It will not affect to your prints or any PDF file if you generate or something. That's not going to affect whether this line weight was on or off. It will be only for viewing purpose. So I'll try to switch off this true line weight. So then what will happen now, you can see that the circle which I have selected carries some node on its circumference and at the center point. Okay. Now onward we are going to concentrate on the pet palettes, because last time when we have studied the line tool, I have showed you the pet palette only for one condition or only for one possibility, that is end node of the line. Now today or at in this particular lesson, uh, we will try to cover up even other possibilities of editing line tool also via pet palette and the circle and ellipse also. Let's go ahead quickly. For example, if I use the check mark and click at the center of this, so at the center node of the circle, if I select that with the check mark, you will see the pet palette will be there in front of you with giving you the standard commands, four standard commands probably I can say. Drag, second was rotate, then it is mirror, and then multiply. So obviously these four commands, out of that move or drag, you know it very well. The remaining three we will study later. So this is what my pet palette is offering me if I click to the center of the circle. I'll hit single escape to terminate this my pet palette, and now I'm going to click on the one of the quadrant of this circle. So there are four quadrants, correct? Four nodes on the four quadrant location. So I'm going to select, say for example, right side quadrant. You can check out this time the pet palette gives you the standard four commands, but additional to that there is an angular stretch, and there is one more option at the top known as a stretch ellipse. Okay, out of that by default this angular stretch is on. Angular stretch, and if you read the prompt at the bottom of your screen, it is written enter stretch to point. If I try to select one of the quadrant, just, or you can even click any other point, not essentially you have to click quadrant only. For the sake of understanding, I am selecting this corner or quadrant. You can check out the portion which I have select, or the point from where I have selected or clicked, and the other point. Only this much of portion is preserved. So my circle is now converted into an arc segment. So this is known as a working with a say angular stretch. So included angle of the circle, which was 360, now it is changed, and that's the reason this is converted into an arc segment. Now you can't see the quadrant nodes, correct? These are the two end nodes of the arc, and there's a center point. Now again, if I try to click on one of the quadrant, one of the end node, and this time again if I see that my pet palette is offering the standard four commands plus angular stretch, And there is one more possibility of move node, correct? So first of all, I'll just complete this angular stretch just to give you an idea that okay, I can return back to circle. That means my journey was started from circle, I came to arc and again back to circle. So this was one possibility. I will copy this circle for the convenience so that on one circle we'll try to use some editing techniques related to angular stretch and something else, and on other circle we'll try to do some other editing so you can compare that. So I'll just hit Ctrl Shift D, that is drag a copy, and I'm just going to copy this randomly on the adjoining part of my this empty part of my drawing. Okay, so now let this circle is selected by default, so let's continue for the editing on this circle itself. Now if I try to hit on one of the quadrant again, and you can check out this time it is working for the, apart from the angular stretch, you are working for uh, stretch ellipse. That means what will happen? This circle can be get converted into ellipse. Okay, so this is like a elliptical stretch. So here if I put the distance as a 300, so what will happen? This 600 will be uh, at present minor axis length, correct? So this is what I am going to achieve. So my converting circle into now ellipse. Okay, uh, fine. Let's go ahead. Now I will select this earlier circle. Again, I will try to make a copy of this. So just to make this explanation a bit easier, I am doing the copies of this particular object. I'll go back to my angular stretch. Okay, pet palette, and then remember how you drag your mouse is very important. Right, so last time in the initial level we have preserved the larger portion. This time I preserve the smaller portion. So it's a just matter of dragging your mouse clockwise or anti-clockwise and preserving the correct area for the angular stretch. Now remember, if I click to the center of this arc, I will get the similar pet palette which I used to get for the circle, or even I'll get the same pet palette for the ellipse also. So center doesn't give you much of the variations in the pet palette. They give you standard 4 commands. But if I try to click on the end node, you know it very well that you will get angular stretch, correct? And one more possibility of move node. Remember, if I use the move node, that means that particular node point, a node which I was having with me, I'm shifting or I'm moving that somewhere else. So what will happen altogether? You are going to change the radius of that arc along with its chord length also. So both the things can be get changed if I try to shift to, for example, if I touch the circumference of the circle and if I get this particular point. Got the thing? How it is changing now? So I have shifted that particular location. So this is something known as a move node. Okay. Move node will not help you to convert this particular arc into circle because you can't pick this point again. That is of no use. So move node will always preserve the arc as it is. Only thing is that your length of arc and the radius of arc will get changed as per the new location. Now if I click with the Mercedes cursor, remember that check mark in node pet palette was different. If I'm clicking with the Mercedes cursor, this time my pet palette will give me some other options. Like apart from standard 4, I will get radial stretch. This is going to happen. What will happen in this case? The overall radius of this particular arc will get changed as per provided new value. So remember, if I try to give a specific value, for example, if I say 1000, so what will happen? That becomes my radius. Okay, but altogether the included angle for the arc is same. It's not getting changed. Overall chord length will change and the radius is changed, obviously. Now again, if I click with the same Mercedes cursor, and this is what I have tried already, radial stretch. Now there's another option known as an insert new node, or you have a curve edge, or you have a edit segment using tangent. So these are the three possibilities. I will try this edit tangent option right now. So you can check out now what is happening. So tangential direction of this arc we are redefining. Getting the point? So this is now my new tangential direction. I can have any other angle as my tangential direction. So you are defining the arc, or you are redefining the arc, I can say, by showing the new tangential vector. Okay, so this way you can try to make it as big as possible or as small as possible. But it will be always an arc segment. You cannot convert this by default into line by using this option. Correct? So let's try to take some value. Okay, and this is what is supposed to be my uh, tangential vector I have redefined for this particular arc. Again, I'm going to click on the same, and this time you can check out curve edge is nothing but what? Any the point which you have selected on the circumference of the arc, you are actually willing to relocate it somewhere as per your choice. For example, I want to place it, or maybe it will pass from this particular quadrant of the circle. So this is what is supposed to be the new definition. So my arc is now redesigned as per the point which I picked on the circumference of that particular arc. Got the thing? So this was second option for editing my arc with the help of Mercedes cursor pet palette. So the pet palette which I got via Mercedes cursor. And now the last option. So the last option which I'm going to show. So click on this again and you will realize this time I am talking about insert new node. And you will be surprised if when I click on this, you will see what exactly the end product will be. The end product is line segment. So now you check out at the top. Earlier it used to be an arc. If I say undo one step back, you will realize earlier it used to be in a circle or arc. And moment I converted that with the pet palette, so I clicked on this and that with the Mercedes cursor, and the first option insert new node if I take, because the arc was there, it will get converted into a line segment. So altogether the journey of your say this circle to arc and from arc to line. Okay, and if you want to return back to arc, then how? Okay, I'll show you that also. So that will be the last point in this clip, because you have to do all the practice, so that in the next clip we'll talk about the ellipse and its editing. So let's try to find out, because I already told you that if I click on the end node of the line, you used to get the standard 4 commands and stretch, where length of the segment can be get changed along with its direction also. So that you have already done. But what about the other pit palettes? If, for example, now if I click somewhere on this side, okay, so this is altogether I have changed the length of the line also and direction also. But any other pit palette I can get? Of course you can. Just click with the Mercedes cursor anywhere on the line segment and you will see that similar pit palette which you used to get for the arc is available, not exactly similar because one option is not there, because yet it is not converted into an arc segment, so obviously you will not get that, but at least you have a possibility that insert new node, correct? So well, you'll see what will happen in this case. Actually, if you use the insert new node, you will get you will be breaking this segment into two portions. So this is how my new combination was delivered. That is insert new node. And if I'll just say undo one step back. And if I now try to go back to this Mercedes cursor, pick palette, and this time if I say curve edge or tangential segment, now you try to use one, either of that, and find out, because it's very simple. I'll show you only one now. So for example, I'll show you this curve edge and you try the next option on your own, because it's not difficult to understand. But always remember, when you try to click and get the option. For example, we used to work for the insert new node. If you read the prompt, it is written reposition polyline node. So try to read the things so that you will get a clue what exactly you're supposed to do. That's a simple job. So same way I'll change my this editing option. So what you can do is, instead of clicking with all the way with the mouse over here for the curve edge, even if you press F from the keyboard, which we have discussed earlier, that is, it's a hotkey to talk to change the option in the pet palette. You press F or Shift F to either go forward or backward. Now, if you read the prompt, it is written enter uh, bulging of polyline edge. Okay, bulginess of the polyline edge. So that's a simple thing. It's nothing but I am going to select one point from where my arc will pass. Got the point? So this is how my line is converted back to arc. And if I want to convert this arc back to circle, you know it very well. Click on the aim node, and with the angular stretch, you continue and complete this particular circle. So this is what is altogether our journey was. Started from circle, then arc, from line, and then to line, from line back to arc and circle. So please complete this entire exercise and try to explore this, because in future when you start using the advanced tools like wall or slab and beam or shell and number of other commands, you will realize the same editing techniques are continued if you are going to construct that type of a object. For example, wall which is supposed to be curved, or slab which is elliptical or circular. So you should know all these editing options very well so that you can survive there.